Hell's a weird one. Hell we wrote when we got snowed in Sheffield and we decided to take all the recording stuff back to Phil's house and record there. We wanted a song with one drum loop the whole way through. So we just made this drum loop. I went away to try and write some lyrics or some other stuff, and Matty and Max were there. And when I came back, there was this bizarre like vocal thing that they'd come up with, and it turns out it was Phil's voice. So what you hear on there, that low sound, is Phil's voice, obviously heavily affected. But yeah, it formed into this weird kind of like, it has like almost a hip-hoppy sort of feel about it. And I had this other song which I'd written sort of as a joke because it was way too ridiculous to ever be anything for us. And I just managed to use the lyrics for that in this song, and it became what it is now. We got our friend Grace to do the female vocals and stuff on it, and yeah, it's an interesting song. It's very, I don't really know what genre it is. I don't really know if I've ever heard a song that sounds like it before, but I'm glad we wrote it. Holy was maybe the third or fourth song we wrote for this. We'd recorded Ritual, we'd written Sinner, which we were super happy with. We decided to go in and we were feeling inspired, going to write something. Must have spent 6 hours looking at a computer, had nothing. And I was drinking and I was like, oh, this is bullshit, let's just go to the pub, can't be bothered. And then I found this voice note on my phone, which was like me singing these, I don't think it was words, it was just like, and it ended up being the melody to the intro and the chorus of Holy. The words just came after that. Like I guess maybe the sounds that I was making sounded kind of like words, and I managed to fit that into like words that made sense. But that's again another thing I've never done. I've never used a voice note as like a starting point. I've never not had lyrics. I've never written lyrics to fit an exact melody, if you know what I mean. So everything was a new experience on this record. Saviour is another ridiculous one. Saviour we wrote in the Lake District because this record was recorded in loads of different places, none of which were really proper studios. We kind of, again, started writing this, not as a joke, but we came up with this really overly country sounding guitar, and we wanted to try and make it sound a bit like those 90s songs, like the 90s soft rock songs. And then I wrote some lyrics and recorded them, and it ended up sounding much better than we thought it was. We showed it to some people and they were like, you need to use that on the record. For me, it still sticks out. Like, it doesn't sonically sound like the other ones because it's a bit more, well, it's essentially a country song. But yeah, I don't know, I think we thought it was too good to not use. Fear almost didn't go on the record. We wrote the music to it quite early on in the process, but we'd recorded another full song, which is now a B-side, which until the last 5 days of recording was going to be on the record. And then we went back and found Fear, and we were like, this is too good to scrap, and I think it's better than the other one. And initially it sounded really dark and miserable, and the chorus that I eventually came up with is a giant poppy, dancey thing. It made us feel something, and it made the song feel complete. But that was the last song we wrote for the record, and it probably almost didn't go on it.